I'm Molly.
I'm Julie.
And I'm Jen.
And welcome to Folks Forever, a Lois and Clark rewatch podcast.
We're three fans who've been loving LNC since 1993.
Each week we'll recap one episode and talk about at least one LNC-related topic.
If you would like to learn more about who we are, how we became folks, and or how we became friends, check out our intro episode.
Today we're going to be discussing Season 1, Episode 11, Honeymoon in Metropolis. We're also going to talk about IRC. What is it? Stay tuned. Honeymoon in Metropolis first aired on December 12th, 1993. If you were a kid making a wish list that holiday season, you might have been going through the Toys R Us catalog. Some of the things you would have seen: Game Genie, Tiger Electronic handheld games, the Electronic Dream Phone, Golden Sight and Sound books, Talking Barney, and the Barbie Lamborghini. And that was the one that 3- and 4-year-old children got to drive around the neighborhood like they were cool, and we were all too big by the time they invented those.
Ew.
Boo.
I still want one. I would love like a little Jeep to drive around. It'd be so much fun.
I think I'm good, but I do remember the Tiger Electronic handheld games and the Dream Phone. Wasn't that like a game?
Yeah. I had the Game Genie.
Ooh.
The little cheat codes for the games. That was great.
I had the Sight and Sound book for Beauty and the Beast. So it was the story, but then it had 8 to 10 little sounds along the side. So one of Gaston being like, ho, 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 and one of the Beast growling and so on. I still have it, I think.
Awesome.
I use those in my classroom with my kids. They love it.
I have a Superman one I should send you.
Cool.
But also they would destroy it. So.
Oh, they'll destroy it now.
Send it to Julie.
I'll take it.
They are not gentle.
We did want to mention that Honeymoon in Metropolis aired as episode 11, but it was actually the 12th episode they shot. The episode Witness was originally supposed to be the 11th episode and was shot as such, but a decision was made to delay it as it was deemed to be a weak episode. The shooting order was, to be clear, Witness, then Honeymoon in Metropolis, then All Shook Up. The airing order and the order in which the episodes appear on DVD and on streaming was Honeymoon in Metropolis, All Shook Up, Witness. We decided to go with that order in our podcast.
You'll recall that 2 earlier episodes, Never-Ending Battle and Strange Visitor, also aired out of sequence. But in that case, we decided to cover them in their filming order due to storyline continuity issues. We don't believe those same issues will come up within these 3 episodes, but we'll be paying close attention. Who knows? Maybe.
Every LNC episode had a title. Honeymoon in Metropolis is likely a play on the title of the 1992 Nicolas Cage, Sarah Jessica Parker movie, Honeymoon in Vegas. And that's all there is to that.
Do you guys watch that movie?
I want to, but I can't find it anywhere, so we're still looking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I watched it back then, but I don't remember. I don't remember anything about it. That tells me it probably wasn't that good.
I do like Sarah Jessica Parker, though. She's good.
I read the plot line because I was wondering if there was any similarity to this episode, and there really isn't, aside from the title. Jen, do you have any memories of your first time seeing this episode?
Let me think. I was so obsessed. This was my obsession at this point. And this episode, I think I wore out my rewind and play button just because I was rewinding it and pushing play and watching it and then rewinding. I think you know what part I'm talking about. I also fell in love with the word Chumpy after this, and I used it as a joke with my friends. We'd be writing letters, and I'd always write Chumpy. I don't even know why, but yeah, that's my memory. Molly, how about you?
Okay. I did not see this episode the very first time it aired, but when it reran, and this was in May of 1994, House of Luther aired. I watched it. I love it. And at the end of that episode, they show a preview for the next episode that they're going to air, which is the rerun of Honeymoon in Metropolis in 3 weeks. And as I watched what was going on the screen in this preview, all my brain took in was married, honeymoon, and Martha's, you really like being with her, huh? And my 13-year-old brain was like, oh, so they get married? Okay. I mean, we just saw Clark crossing his fingers and saying he just want to be friends, but I mean, this is 3 weeks away. A lot could happen in that time.
Oh no.
That's a pretty big jump there.
I know, I know. But
Oh.
the episode aired, and I was quickly like, oh, this is an older episode. This is not okay. This is fine. And the only scene I really remembered about it was the scene where Lois sneaks over to the offices and drops her credit card and the sprinklers go off. I don't know why that's the main thing I remembered about this one years later. You would think I would remember the romantic stuff, and yet no. But I know I
Wow.
saw it. It's
Huh.
funny though.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The boring part, you remember?
Maybe
Yeah.
just the idea of getting rained on inside was so novel that
Yeah.
of course that happened in
Sure.
another episode too. But what about you, Julie?
The only thing I really remember is that I was like Jen obsessed at this point, and that they played like 3 really strong episodes in my eyes as a 13-year-old in a row. So I was just loving the show, and I was rewatching my tapes until the next episode was coming out. That's about all I really remember. 3 good ones in a
Nice.
row.
Oh yeah.
Is this the third of them or is this the second of them?
I think this is the third.
Okay.
No,
This
you don't
is the
think?
third.
Oh, just because
Man of Steel Bars.
right.
Man of
That's
Steel
what I'm
Bars.
saying.
yeah.
Very Moment I Love. Yeah, 3.
Okay. Yes.
Those 3 I really liked then, so I would watch those 3 just back to back to back
But
over and
wait,
over.
also Green Glow of Home, wasn't that one of them? That was another one too. Was it
that
3
was,
or 4?
yeah, that was another one.
So
Mhm.
4, yeah.
So 4 in a row.
4 in a row. Yeah, really good.
Wow.
Yeah, good run there. Not
And then they dropped the ball. What's the next one?
No, I'll
Just
Shook Up
kidding.
is next, and it's okay, and it's
Oh,
and it's still good.
I like
but
that one. Oh, okay. So they had a
We're
good run
we're
then.
okay. At least I hope you guys
We're
like
st-
All Shook Up as
we're
much
still
as I
good.
do.
We're good.
I do.
I love that one.
No, it's that Illusions of Grandeur, Eye to Metropolis
Ugh.
run. But that's a few episodes away.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely not my favorite.
Well, before we get into our more detailed discussion of Honeymoon in Metropolis, we'll be giving our very own summaries in 16 words or less. Jen, why don't you start today?
Okay. Mine is not very complex. There is a game. There is a bed. There is a maid. There is a kiss.
It's like almost
That's all I got.
like poetry.
Perfect.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I am that talented. I'm also that simple-minded when it comes to this episode. That's all I care about. I check out for the bad guy scene. I don't know who who is it?
Yeah.
The
Inspector
Ian-
Henderson.
not Inspector Henderson.
Inspector Gadget. Across the way.
I don't even care what his name is. That's how much
No.
I don't care. So, yeah.
No. My summary is Lois and Clark get a taste of their future. Adorable. I guess other stuff happens too.
Yeah, other stuff we don't care about.
Exactly.
And Julie.
All right. My summary is Lois and Clark go undercover as newlyweds and end up kissing in bed. That's all I care about.
I think we're all on the same page here. Like, do we really
Beautiful.
need to review anything else? We just go to one scene.
And then
I could probably
rewind.
talk about that. Yeah, rewind. We'll just keep talking about it. Okay, so anyway, we have some guest stars this week. We have Charles Frank, played Congressman Ian Harrington. That is the name I was trying to come up with earlier. He's best known for The Right Stuff, Filthy Rich, and Wonder Woman. He also was in an episode of Life Goes On and Hearts of Fire. Charles Cyphers played Thaddeus Rourke. He is best known for Halloween, Major League, Assault on Precinct 13, and The Fog. Richard Libertini played Sore Throat. He was best known for Popeye, DuckTales, the movie Treasure of the Lost Lamp, and Fletch. We also have Fred Stoller, who played Phil. He's best known for Little Man, Dumb and Dumber, Fred and Vinny, and Austin Powers in Goldmember.
Wait, who's Phil?
Phil,
The bellboy.
Oh.
yeah,
The bellboy.
the nerdy with the camera. And then finally we have Andrea Stein. She played Ingeborg. I don't know how to pronounce it. That's the maid, in case you're wondering. She was best known for Hard to Kill and Shelf Life. She didn't have much of a, project list, but I mean, I would say out of all of her roles, Lois and Clark is at the very top. So
Extra towels, yeah.
extra towels, yeah.
Iconic.
Yes, that's all I got. All right, so here we go. We're in the episode. We open in the planet, and Lois is finishing up at her desk, getting ready to leave work. Clark, Jimmy, and Perry are all sitting around Clark's desk when Clark asks Lois if she's going somewhere. Lois confirms that yes, she is, but it's none of his business. Everyone, including Kat, who has made her way over to the group, starts harping on her, assuming that it's a secret story and that she needs to get budget approval. Lois gets defensive, saying that she has a personal life, but gives up when it seems like no one believes her. So she admits that she's going to the Lexor Hotel for a night of relaxation. She proves her reservation by showing her receipt to Clark and Perry. Clark reads it and announces that she's staying in the honeymoon suite, to which Kat proceeds to absolutely mock her for.
Lois Lane in the honeymoon suite?
Stranger things have happened.
Name one.
Thank you all very much. I'm leaving now.
Perry calls Lois out, saying that it's weird for her to spend an entire night relaxing. And she responds,
"O ye of little faith."
Did you guys see that she wasn't writing anything on her computer? She was reading Gulliver's Travels.
"Oh, I had it paused, but I didn't look deep into it. She was reading it?"
She must have been reading Gulliver's Travels. She must have been bored. It didn't look like anybody was really working.
If anything had come up, Lois certainly would have been on it, but it's a good thing.
And I really liked Kat and Jimmy's really nerdy little handshake like bet. Did you guys catch that?
They're right in Miami. You're on.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're in the pink carpeted honeymoon suite, and Lois is bored eating pretzels and watching a romantic movie on the TV. She gets frustrated and turns it off, then slips off her robe and hits the red heart jacuzzi filled with bubbles. And there are so many bubbles.
I
So
want to
many
know how
bubbles.
they achieve that many bubbles because I cannot find a bubble bath that makes bubbles. How do they get that many bubbles? I'm jealous.
I mean, I know if you pour enough stuff in there, it gets pretty crazy. But I've never seen that many bubbles.
No.
Yeah. And did you guys see the fireplace in the background? I don't know. So cozy.
So
I don't think I've ever
romantic.
noticed that. So romantic. The phone rings and it's Clark. She admits that she's relaxing. And he asks how the view is. So she turns around and sees some shady business going on in the office next door. She pulls out her binoculars and starts like huffing and puffing back and forth because she's trying to get these pictures. And I have to say this makes for a pretty funny scene.
Mm-hmm.
Clark asks her about the bed, and she says it's great while she takes these pictures. And she's really not being an active participant in this conversation. She is completely checked out. She's back into work mode. And meanwhile, Clark is weirded out, but he just kind of laughs it off. He doesn't know any better, and he gives her credit for taking the weekend off. So, quick question. If you heard those sounds on the phone, what in the world would you think that she was doing? Or do you even want to admit what that, yeah.
I mean, at one point she's like, yes, yes, yes. And like she's breathing hard because she's trying to like swim. And I'm like,
Right.
oh my gosh.
Right.
I was thinking about, honestly though, maybe just because we can see what's happening, I would just assume that she's like dropped the soap and is going after it and something, or she, because she had to reach for the phone to get. I would assume someone in a bathtub, if I called them, might have something go awry, and I don't know why he's calling her. Really, I don't think he thought she was doing anything.
Right.
She didn't have to answer the phone.
That's true.
And she did answer
But she
very
didn't have
calmly.
caller ID.
True, but she was like, yes, when she answered. And then she didn't get all like wild until he asked how the view was. And so she's like, splish, splash, splish, splash.
I always wondered kind of what was in his brain as this conversation was happening. Like, what was he imagining was happening? It doesn't matter. I'm sure he's completely a good, nice gentleman, and he would never think anything of the sort. So, moving on. We get our opening credits, right? Is this okay?
Sorry, I just have in my notes. He tries to look through with his X-ray vision into the bedroom. Does not compute. He is
Wait,
not
what?
a gentleman. No, in like
Oh,
5
yeah,
minutes,
okay.
he's gonna try to
That's-
peek on her.
Yeah.
But he doesn't. He doesn't do it. He starts to.
Oh,
Well, that's a good point, Molly.
Oh, Clark. You can leave that
Molly
out. I just
Molly
read
gets a
that.
point. No, I think it's true. It's okay. So now we get our opening credits, and after that, Jimmy is now pinning up photos that Lois took of Congressman Ian Harrington in the conference room. Lois shares that the offices were leased to a business called Apocalypse Consulting. Lois starts to say that she has an idea, and Perry interrupts, knowing in full that she wants the planet to put her up undercover in the honeymoon suite until they can figure out what's going on. Perry says that it's a major surveillance operation, and he considers calling his source.
Maybe I should contact my source. The source. Find out if there's anything to this before we get in too deep.
You don't...
Don't even think about saying that name.
Who?
Hey!
And then Perry goes, okay, you guys, you have 3 days. And Lois responds, guys? And Perry says, yeah, you and Clark. Lois says she will not be staying in the honeymoon suite. And how would that look? Perry basically tells her that it's non-negotiable. Meanwhile, Clark is beaming ear to ear. And then he turns to Lois and says,
Just don't try anything funny.
and her face is so annoyed and hilarious. And it's so cute. And I love it.
Massive eye roll.
We know that Martha's a tease, and I think she passed that on to Clark.
Absolutely. Even though genetics have nothing to do with this.
No,
but
no, no.
Environmental.
She taught him her
It's
ways.
an environmental, yeah. Mhm. In our next scene, Clark is struggling to carry Lois in a peach dress suit over the threshold while a nerdy concierge takes their picture. And there's something here that's always bothered me because the guy goes, she can't be that heavy. And Clark nods. Yeah, like, excuse me. Rude.
So rude. Rude.
Have you guys caught that before?
Well,
That he said that?
I think it was also because she was like struggling in his arms and did not want to be being held. And he was kind of struggling with that. But obviously she's not too heavy for him. But he has to pretend like she is because
Okay.
Clark Kent shouldn't be able to easily hold someone for a long time. But
Okay.
still rude.
Yeah, he still shouldn't have said it. Meanie. Anyway, Lois runs over to try to yank the camera away from the concierge, and Clark holds her back, stating that she's just a little shy. Jimmy walks in and asks if he can kiss the bride, and Lois is not amused. Kat then walks in, and Lois is now at her wit's end, saying that they're supposed to be undercover. Kat explains that she was at the reception downstairs and that she thought she'd just pop up and say hello. And when she says hello, she looks right at Clark with her making sexy eyes and does a little wave. And Clark just waves back, encouraging bad behavior, Clark. Come on.
Well, I think he is encouraging her because she is across the room sitting and he is across the room. She's not touching him. She doesn't have her chin on his shoulder.
Okay, that's
And
a
she's
good
fully
point.
clothed, which is a step up from last time. I would encourage all of that.
Positive reinforcement. I like it. That's actually very smart. So I take it back. Maybe it's good.
So I have the draft script for this episode. And when Jimmy says he wants to kiss the bride, there's an additional line from him in the script that says, no tongue, Scout's honor. And then Lois throws a pillow at him.
Jimmy.
Kiss
Jimmy.
Jeez, Jimmy.
I don't even want to picture that with
No.
Jimmy. That's just weird. That's like brother, sister stuff.
It's creepy.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Molly has thoughts.
I'm just thinking of just
And I'm
saying
like,
no.
like, huh?
Jimmy, I can make a man out of you. But that's 2 seasons
Oh.
later, and that's another Jimmy. So
Oh yeah. Yeah, I didn't like that either. That was yucky. Yucky. So Jimmy admits that he had to bring up the surveillance equipment, so that's his excuse. Kat then proceeds to make herself absolutely as comfortable as can be. She starts pushing all of these hidden buttons and helping herself to a nice drink. She has obviously been here before. Then she sits down, claps her hands, and music starts to play, and her chair starts to vibrate. She pulls back the tablecloth on the table next to her chair, and we see her name engraved on the table.
Been there a few times.
Yeah, I'd say so. The concierge comes back and announces that he has unpacked everything. Like, everything. And Lois is pissed. But Clark subtly nudges her to tip the man. This is not how she expected this to go. A maid comes in and says, anyone? Extra towels.
Extra
Yeah.
Extra towels, yeah.
Extra towels, yeah.
I freaking love it when she says that. It's so good.
I was only confused by her getting mad about him unpacking her, because wouldn't she have been unpacked the first time that she stayed there? Only maybe that's just because she had an overnight bag with her that time and kept it with her and it didn't go out of her sight. That's all I was thinking maybe happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wrote that down too. Like, she should know that it's a full service hotel. She was just there the night before.
Right.
But yeah,
Or maybe
like
she
you
wanted to
said,
keep her
She
stuff.
had a suitcase this time, so that's probably
It was
the
a
difference, I
suitcase.
guess.
She was probably hiding some of her reporter notes, stuff that she doesn't want people to see. But I don't know. Maybe she doesn't want Clark to see some of this stuff unpacked. Like, maybe. I don't know what's in there.
I just don't want someone touching my stuff at a hotel. Here's my other thing. I feel like this isn't canon at this point, but we do learn later. I mean, the Lexor Hotel is obviously owned by Lex, and there may or may not be some hidden things going on in the hotel. My question, to just throw in these questions into the air. One was, do they register for this honeymoon suite under false names? Do we ever find out those false names? Because if they didn't, I would think it would get back to Lex that his new love interest obsession is staying at his hotel, or that he might find out some other way, but it never comes up and it never matters. It's just kind of made me think.
I feel like they didn't use a fake name because of the credit card situation later. That was my thought for that.
Right.
Like, you didn't use a fake name? Didn't seem too smart not to do that. So they must not have.
Okay, that's a good point.
Maybe they also aren't like actively searching for the guests that are staying in their hotel. I mean, that would be a lot of effort to put in for a maybe someday something will happen.
No, I would just always figure Lex, and he might not be at this point yet. He certainly would be at this point if it were a few seasons later and he had the resources, but he would be like, I'm obsessed with Lois Lane. I now want anytime she enters any of my properties, I get a little beeper message. Let me know.
Right.
But it's
I
okay.
can see that happening.
It's okay they didn't go there. Probably for the best.
Okay, so Lois and Clark are sitting on the couch in their casuals, and Clark asks if she wants to play old maid. She responds, "We're here to work, not play games." They're listening in on their neighbors with their surveillance equipment, and they hear some personal arguments, perhaps a lover's quarrel. Lois says,
Relationships.
and Clark flips it off, admitting to her that people are entitled to private lives, and who are we to judge? Lois fights back and informs him that
Our job is to rip away the veil of secrecy and expose the naked truth.
Clark, in what I'm guessing is his way of flirting, goes,
Oh, wait, when you put it like that.
Okay, I'm going to bed.
cute. Lois decides now is the time to go to bed. Clark is like, excuse me, we flip for the bed. They go through some options and Clark ends up on, well, it's a big bed. How about we share? So Lois settles on alternating nights. I love their back and forth during that. It's flirty and cute.
And also, she gets the better end of the deal straight up because she gets the first and third night.
Mm-hmm.
And he lets it happen, which is fine. And just interesting. And then how it plays out is where she gets it all 3 nights. And we'll find out. But
Exactly.
I was going to
Do you
say we
think
don't
that
actually see him in the bed. Which is fine.
Do you think he would actually do it though and put her on the couch?
yes, because
I
he
don't
threw
know.
her in the dumpster only a few episodes back.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe. Now I'm just thinking about it.
Maybe.
I don't know. So now it's night, and Clark is struggling on the couch. He is big, and the couch is small. He falls off the couch, and Lois, who is in the bedroom, hears a thunk. He flies up and rests back up on the couch. Lois almost comes out to check. P.S. He's not wearing glasses. But she stops and turns around.
Risky.
Yeah, seriously. She flips out her sheets and throws off her shorts. Clark hears all of this, by the way, and is so tempted to take an x-ray peek through the door, but he stops himself. So I gave him credit. I think this is a good guy move. Thank you for not just acting out on your wants and desires. Do you guys have thoughts on this?
I wonder why she's naked. Why? Knowing
'Cause
that
they're
Clark was
satin
going to
sheets.
come in, but she knows that Clark is going to
Right.
come in and wake her up.
Ooh,
And she's
that's a
going to
good point.
sleep naked? She wasn't sleeping
That's a
naked
really good point.
before in the bed. She wore pajamas in bed when she was alone, but she decides to be naked when Clark is there. This is my question.
Maybe she's being a tease. Maybe
Clearly.
deep down, she's like, okay, this is how I'm going to lure him in.
Also, I mean, she didn't know how he'd wake her. I mean, maybe she was just expecting him to knock on her little door and be like, "Hey, Lois."
Yeah. I wondered that too. Why didn't he knock? He actually just opened the door and went in.
Because he finally couldn't take it anymore.
Like he had to wake her up. He had to wake her up quietly. Well, no, he really didn't. Apocalypse. The guys across the way weren't going to hear them.
Right.
He just wanted to touch her.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he's a bad
It's
boy.
It's because the writers know what we want, and they were just like, we're gonna write him this way. There's my easy answer. No, but I have no idea. So Clark hops back onto the couch and yells, "Good night, Lois." And she ignores him. He continues until she finally responds,
Good night, Clark.
Clark can't quite get comfortable, so he picks up his pillow and tries to fluff it, and it explodes. Okay, rewind to the Man of Steel bars. I guess sometimes he can't control his own powers.
This is
I don't know.
chaotic Clark.
This is chaotic Clark. Molly's has two versions, and
It's
Yeah.
not even just that. It's that if you explode a pillow, okay. Step 2, sweep up the feathers and throw them away.
Yep.
Just leave it.
Just leave it there on the floor for Lois to see, for the concierge to see. And then I just don't. And if Martha was there, she would have words because he's an untidy gentleman in this episode.
It's true. He could have done that so fast too. But okay, maybe he broke the pillow because he was so frustrated because he did not keep.
Oh.
Maybe he was just in his mind, he was frustrated and he's like, he just lost it for a second.
Sure.
I don't know.
I guess we could go there, but we don't have to go there today.
Today, we'll go there another time.
We can go there in the Phoenix for sure.
Oh, I
Jeez.
can't wait for the Phoenix. All right. So it is now the middle of the night. Clark is now in Lois's room and he touches her shoulder and says, "They're back." Her naked shoulder, I should say. She gets up and they watch from the window. Lois offers Clark her binoculars and he says no. They turn up the audio and listen in. We hear them discussing something about a revote. Rourke says that he owns Congressman Harrington, and the congressman responds,
Because if you don't, what happens to me?
Pray you never find out.
Lois pulls her binoculars down and Clark lifts his glasses up to his eyes. She goes, "What would you say if I had no idea what they're talking about? But whatever it is, it's bigger than I actually thought."
I'd say you're absolutely right.
Something shady's going on.
Dun dun dun.
It's the next morning. Clark wakes up, gets off the couch, and does a bunch of push-ups at super speed, which come complete with sound effects. Lois comes out of the bedroom, and Clark is staring at her, and she says, "What?" because the way he's staring at her makes her feel a little self-conscious. And he tells her, well, you look pretty decent first thing in the morning. So do you, she says. But I'm thinking, was this a compliment in 1993, calling someone pretty decent? Because nowadays that does not sound very nice.
True.
I think it was. Yes.
Yeah.
It was so cute. I think it's cute.
Yeah, I think it was a more of a compliment in that era.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like he wasn't being overly flirtatious, but it was a genuine, like most people look like crap when they wake up. So maybe it was more of a like, oh, hey, I'm shocked. You don't look like crap.
I don't see it as a blooper, but I will say he has seen her in the morning before, because in I'm Looking Through You, she fell asleep at his place. Also in Witness, if we want to go through that order, but since we're not doing that.
I just like it because they're both just grinning at each other and it's just cute. It's flirtatious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what would it be like to see you in the morning? Every morning. Woohoo.
They're putting it through their minds
Yes,
a little
they are.
bit.
Clark has ordered morning coffee to be delivered, and just then there's a knock at their door. The concierge from the night before is still on duty, and he makes a dumb comment about the fact that they're up early. And he also notices the feathers all over the floor, which Clark shrugs off to Lois with, I'm a heavy sleeper.
Uh-huh.
We cut to Lex.
Okay.
That's all there is to that. We cut to Lex, who is in the back of his limo reading Nietzsche when he gets a phone call, and we hear him talking to an admiral about a test, and he says that he expects complete success. And we, the audience, are like, oh, Lex is in this one? And also, what the hell is he talking about? And I can't even use that for part of my section because I'm still not sure by the end of the episode what anyone's talking about throughout this whole thing. It's fine, though. At the Daily Planet, Perry, Lois, Clark, Kat, and Jimmy are strategizing, talking about what they know about Rourke, Harrington, all those dudes, and is what is happening or about to happen a matter for national security? And Kat is assigned to follow Harrington around. Back at the honeymoon suite, we get a montage of Lois and Clark playing various games, including gin or gin rummy, perhaps, a pseudo version of Monopoly, Trivial Pursuit, and Fako Scrabble. Lois attempts to play the word chumpy, but Clark pushes back. He even shows her that it's not in the dictionary. But Lois just looks at the book's small size and says, "You call that a dictionary?" Lois ends up losing the trivia game, which prompts a discussion between them about winning and losing.
It's a game, Clark. Are you telling me that when you play a game, you don't play to win?
I play to play.
Oh, boy, here it comes.
But winning and losing is not the sole object,
Well,
Lois.
this is perfect. I win, you lose, we're both happy.
In the script, they were supposed to be playing gin in the hot tub in bathing suits.
What?
Yes. I can see why they cut that.
Whoa. We
Why
gotta
did
go
they
back
bring
here.
their bathing suits to this?
Exactly.
They're supposed to be working. I don't care. I wanted them to shoot this scene, please.
But now I want that scene, even though I understand why it's not there. Because,
Wait.
no.
Did they shoot this scene and like take it out, or it was just an early script?
I don't think it was probably shot that I know of. I
Dang.
mean, I don't know for sure, but it's definitely not in the episode.
Oh, nuts. Okay.
Yeah. I wish it was like lost footage that would somehow like turn up.
Hey,
But again,
Teri,
like Molly said, why do they have their bathing suits? Why?
we have to know. If anyone knows, please let us know.
So they're in the bedroom talking about winning and losing, and Clark hears someone approaching. He x-rays the wall or the door and sees the maid coming in with a stack of towels. She's coming towards them, so he quickly hides the video camera and kind of tosses Lois onto the bed and proceeds to kiss her. And you know what? At first she protests, but then she's like, no, this is fine. And the maid comes in, goes, whoops, sorry, and turns around and leaves. Once the maid is gone, Clark stops kissing Lois and she's obviously now half dazed, but she pulls herself together and goes, "Doesn't anybody knock around here?"
Which leads me to believe that she was upset that they got interrupted.
She didn't mind.
A little bit. I think she was digging it. If you look very, very closely, you can see that she puts her leg up. So she was digging it.
Okay. Really?
Yes.
I have not watched this enough.
But it also, why are they messing with the camera in the bedroom, for one? Why is the bedroom door shut? And what person would walk into a honeymoon suite bedroom and not knock?
That lady could have lost her job. That's all I'm saying.
And also, one more thing. He didn't really have to do that. Couldn't he have just thrown the stuff under the sheets? He didn't have to kiss her.
Well, he
That's
wanted the
true.
maid to leave quickly.
Yeah.
But yes. I wish, I mean, she loved the kiss. She's kissed Clark before. She's kissed Superman before. You would think maybe she would make a connection. She does not. I don't know.
I have a question for you. Did you notice where his hands went when, after he sees the maid coming and he's
Yes.
throwing the equipment on the bed, his hand is somewhere.
It's on her
Did you notice?
booty.
It's on her butt. Yeah, it's like going back and forth a little bit. And I was going, I'm sure this was not intentional. And he's focusing on doing the equipment, but also
Getting that booty touch.
We're just
cheek touch, booty touch. Which one do we like more?
Which
all I can
cheek?
say is I'm glad she's okay with it, and yeah.
Which cheek is better?
It is a cheek touch. It's just different. It's a different height. Okay.
Superman touches her butt, and she's like, "Hey, I know your Clark. Touched me the same way. The way you just touched my butt."
Oh.
I'm dead.
Okay.
So funny.
Back in the main room of the honeymoon suite a little later, Lois and Clark are waiting for something to happen across the way at the offices. And Lois starts a conversation. She asks Clark if he's ever lived with a member of the opposite sex full time. He says no, and she says she hasn't either. And they talk about how that might be challenging.
Compromises,
Forced intimacy.
sharing responsibilities.
And you're never alone.
You're never alone.
Clark says, of course, that's nothing like what we're doing now. And they both kind of laugh awkwardly and remind each other that this is a charade, pure make-believe. Ha 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 ha. Suddenly, Clark hears something across the way, and he's like, "I hear something." And she's kind of like, "What?" But then she kind of lets it go, and they both go over to the window. Lois grabs her binoculars. They check it out. They see a man rifling through a filing cabinet. He then closes the drawer and locks the cabinet with a key and puts the key in the pocket of a jacket that's hanging nearby, and Lois sees all this. Then Rourke and Harrington show up at this office, and we learn that the test is set for dawn the day after next, and that Rourke knows it will fail. And then, he says, Harrington will vote for Rourke's system. Ugh, this is all so boring. Okay, what will happen? Harrington asks. What will happen? Harrington asks. We'll show you, says Rourke. We made a video of the computer model. This is so high tech for 93. So they shut off the lights and close the window shutters, which unfortunately have lead paint on them that Clark can't see through. And we know this because he mutters, "lead lined." And oops, Lois hears him and asks him, "What the hell?" But he just kind of says, "I don't know." And Lois just gives him a look, because I guess it must be another one of those Kansas expressions. When the shutters open back up, Harrington has obviously just seen something horrific because he's going, "Rourke, you can't, millions of people." And then they all leave.
So can he not see through the building?
I figured there was paint on those walls too. Lead paint. But I thought of that as well.
Come on.
That's not a healthy place to be. That
I guess not.
Apocalypse Consulting. You will die one way or the other.
Yikes.
Whoa.
Ouch.
So Clark gets either a fax or an email, I could not tell, from Jimmy. And while he's distracted with that, Lois slips on her shoes and says she needs to go down to the shop in the lobby. But really, she's going across the way to the bad guy's offices. Meanwhile, Martha and Jonathan call the honeymoon suite. They got the number from Perry, and Martha is especially being all teasing, insinuating that something sexy must be going on. Clark is at first oblivious to what she's implying.
Is there anything you'd like to tell us?
Not really. Things are going pretty smoothly, assuming Lois keeps her end of the bargain and lets me have my turn in the bedroom tonight.
Uh-huh. I love when he goes, Lois, what are you doing? Lois! And Martha says, gee, Clark, have we called it a bad time? Okay.
Yeah.
What's
Their
happening?
faces, his parents' faces are just priceless.
They're just the best.
I love them.
So they're still on the phone when Clark hears something across the way, and he goes to the window and he sees that Lois has broken into the office and also that the bad guys are coming back. Lois does manage to get into the filing cabinet. She scans a few documents with a handheld scanner, but when she hears the bad guys coming, she goes and hides in a closet. But on the way, she accidentally drops her credit card. Superman then zooms in and sets off the office's sprinkler system, so the bad guys all get out of there quick, and Lois is also able to escape. When Lois gets back to the honeymoon suite, Clark is sitting on the couch, and he pretends to be oblivious to the whole thing, asking her what happened, because she's now disheveled and kind of wet. She asks if he saw what happened and if he got it all on tape. But oops, Clark reveals he must have forgotten to reload the video camera. Lois goes, "Ah!" and angrily goes to the bedroom, slamming the door, and Clark hides a smushed VHS tape.
There was really no reason for her to lie about what she was going to go do, considering he was supposed to be watching the building. He was
Right.
going to see her.
Yeah,
But I guess at that point, it'd be too late for him to do anything
I
or
think
talk her out of it.
I think she was like, we're going to waste time with you trying to talk me out of it. I'm just going to go do it. It's okay if you see me do it, because by then you can't stop me. Yeah. But then later in the episode, she does do something without telling him, and that gets her into trouble. So, I don't know.
Yep.
So after the door slams, Clark kind of just laughs to himself, realizing he will not be getting a turn in the bedroom tonight. The next morning, they're in the hotel bathroom getting ready, and they talk about how it's weird to have to share.
It's tough, huh?
What?
Sharing.
Yeah. How do people do it?
He was wearing a red robe, which is a color that is in his palette. So I thought that was kind of
Yes.
funny.
I thought it was amazing that she let him share the bathroom with her rather than making him take a turn.
Exactly.
kinda-
Like, why didn't they take turns?
It
If
was
I'm
kinda
sharing with
cute.
a coworker, I would go and then they would go. You wouldn't
Yeah,
do it
even when we
together.
travel, we don't all brush our teeth
We don't.
together.
I know.
don't do that.
That's true.
It's a little weird.
It was funny that she didn't want to spit in front of him.
I mean, I wouldn't want to either. I don't want to spit in front of you guys. I was all excited about when I read my draft script. It had a scene before the toothbrushing scene where Lois is taking a shower. Clark knocks on the door wanting to come in because he has to use the restroom. So she comes out, opens the door in the towel. Clark goes in, takes his shower, and then she knocks on the door like, I forgot something. And she just walks in to the bathroom when he's in the shower, and she's groping around the walls and the counters, and she says, I have my eyes closed, Clark. I'm like, what?
Stop it right now. Why are they cutting these scenes?
That is what I kind of wish they didn't cut. I do have, which is why I was excited about reading it, is I do have the towel that they made for her to wear that was like tailor-made and fits her. I do have the Lexor Hotel towel. So I was like,
Wow.
yay, it's actually in the script. Yes.
That's cool.
So now I can print out that page of the script and put it with it. So that made me happy.
Nice.
So I'm like, that's why they made the towel.
So she was in her towel when she was looking around in the bathroom, and
Yeah,
he's
when
in the
he's
shower.
in the
completely
shower.
naked?
Yes.
My Oh, my Lanta. My poor little
They
13-year-old
knew
heart
we
is
weren't
like
ready for a
exploding.
shower scene yet.
I guess
Nothing
not.
happened.
They
Nothing
should have. They
happened.
took out the hot tub and the shower scene. Come on now.
And put in
Rude.
fire, what's it called? The sprinkler system.
sprinklers,
instead.
yeah.
That's how we'll
Yeah.
get them wet.
Thanks for that.
But they kept the toothbrush scene.
Oh yeah, we have lots of. We were talking the other episode how Lois brushes her teeth quite a lot, especially in season 1.
Yeah. A lot. Good for you.
Dental hygiene is important.
Back at the Daily Planet, Kat is looking at one of the things that Lois scanned and they'd printed it out, and it says tsunami. Kat seems to think it's a Japanese food item, but Jimmy tells Kat no, he tells her what it actually is. And then he recalls that Harrington recently voted on something called shockwave.
I did want to mention though, Kat's outfit in this scene is a very strappy, like buckles, it's a strappy dress, but it looks like it's out of what's that movie? The book, the 50 Shades of Grey.
It's a little
Or something.
lingerie-ish, yeah.
It's a little looking.
S&M.
I mean, S&M, yep. Something like that. It's a choice.
Completely work appropriate.
I still don't understand how she's getting away with this, or if she has ever been talked to.
Well,
I don't know.
she could probably get away with it because she's like, well, I need this for like infiltrating the gossip and all that. And then she's like, and it'd be too hard to change when I come back to work. So they probably give her a pass. Kind of the way, I don't know, if there's anybody else that has to wear a specific outfit when they do their job, but
Perhaps. It's just so consistent that it's okay. I just need to give it a rest. Let it go.
And she's always hungry in this episode. And eating.
Well,
earlier she was
it's
eating
setting
an
up.
orange.
Yeah.
Now she's
An
eating an
apple.
apple.
there's a banana in a few episodes. So I think she's
Yeah,
on a
that's a
fruit kick,
banana.
actually.
Maybe she's pregnant. No, but it's setting up the whole Japanese food thing.
Yes. And
Yes, it is.
So
I don't know how
I mean,
she's
that's-
hungry though, because she keeps eating.
that's true. Very true.
So Kat has been trailing Harrington, and we get a rundown on his whereabouts. He's been meeting up with lots of women, including Kat herself, who went out for drinks with him, apparently. Jimmy says that he has been tracking Rourke, and he tracked him all the way to a pier to a windowless warehouse. Perry says it's time to call in the man who always knows what's happening, the man who has never let me down. It's the source that they hinted at earlier. Dun dun dun. Sore throat.
So Perry, Lois, and Clark meet up with Sore Throat in a dark parking garage. This guy is very much a knockoff of the Deep Throat character from the X-Files, if you guys have seen that. Mr. Wayne Eyrig.
Yes, although he himself is a knockoff of the actual Deep Throat. You know what I'm talking about?
True, yes.
Yeah.
But this guy has allergies.
Yeah.
A nasal spray and blowing his nose. It's insanely cheesy, but for some reason I love it. Sore Throat explains that Project Shockwave is the Navy's defense network that identifies foreign objects and calibrates sonic vibrations to disable them. There was a vote on potential programs, but Shockwave, which was created by Luther Technologies, won. Rourke's program was runner-up, which is why he's now planning on sabotaging it, hopefully triggering a revote. I had to watch this multiple times to figure out what the heck was going on, because I don't pay attention to this stuff.
Same, girl, same.
I'm like, bad guy and next. Okay, so Sore Throat had some great advice for them and gave 3 options. 1, they could take their evidence to the Navy, but they'd probably be accused of espionage. 2, they could publish their theory, but possibly face lawsuits. Or 3, which is what he was going to do, which is get the hell out of town.
I mean, I could talk about it here. This is part of my real life thing. So, as I was reviewing this episode, I was reminded between the parking garage scene with the sore throat and also the very beginning of the episode where she sees the shenanigans out her window are both nods to the movie All the President's Men and the events that surrounded that with the Watergate thing. So, like, there's a very famous shot at the beginning of that movie where you're looking out of the Watergate was a hotel, so you're looking out the window and you see flashlights of guys. And so they parodied that in Forrest Gump. We've seen it parodied in other movies. Even that one Quantum Leap episode with Teri, they did a whole thing with, like, they're at the Watergate and we saw it, what happened. And so, so that's that. So I actually rented the dang movie because I was like, I want to see if there's anything else. And I watched it. And it's a lot of dialogue movie. We watched it when I was in journalism class in high school. And I'm pretty sure it's the movie that convinced me I did not want to be a journalist because I was like, if it involves this much talking on the phone and getting doors shut in your faces, I don't want this job.
Dang.
But the only other thing from between that and this episode is the little joke that Sore Throat makes about follow the money. That's a quote from the movie. And nothing else though.
So Lois and Clark head back to the hotel. Lois thinks they should publish their theories, and Clark agrees as long as Perry goes for it. My question is, they were just with Perry. Did they not discuss the options and what they were going to do?
Maybe they couldn't talk because they were still... Maybe they took separate rides. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe Perry had an emergency. He's like, oh, Alice is calling. The toilet's clogged. I got to get over there quick. You guys, I'll talk to you later.
Think about it, and then I'll talk later.
I don't know.
Oh, that was nice.
Who the hell knows?
So they enter the hotel room and find it trashed. As they close the door, they find Lois's credit card stabbed into the back of it. Their cover is now blown. We discussed it earlier. They must not have registered under a different name because how else would they have found them? Not very smart. So not only did they trash the place, they took all their evidence and cleared their files in their building. While Lois is looking around, Clark starts x-raying and sees a bomb about to go off in the couch. He goes and sits on it and it explodes. Just then, Lois comes in like, what was that? I thought I heard something. Sees him just sitting there and says,
Did you hear something?
Nope.
Don't just sit there.
poor Clark. He's just there, quietly saving the world, saving her life. Mm-hmm. And she just thinks he's being lazy, doing nothing. And how did she miss the smoke that was just coming up from his butt?
Yep.
You could clearly see that.
She was too polite I'm sure
to
there was a
anything. Smell.
Yeah. There's this massive explosion. You had to smell something, and she's like, okay.
And there's a big old hole in the couch. So in the script, she's holding up a teddy bear with a stomach slashed open. Poor teddy bear.
Well, I did see that bear at the beginning of the episode, and thankfully I don't think we have to ask our listeners what species it is. It was pretty clear.
It's definitely a bear, not a mouse. Lois ends up going to the pier and breaks into the Apocalypse Consulting warehouse. But she quickly gets caught and tied up with Harrington outside. Back at the planet, everyone is worried about Lois's whereabouts. Jimmy has checked her usual places. 1, her apartment. Sure, that makes sense. The gym. All right. And 3, the chocolate parlor. That's her usual place. Okay.
I love that.
This was one of those weird scenes that Lois and Clark does sometimes where they go to a commercial break and they come back and there should have been some sort of transition that the audience got, but we don't get it. And we just see Lois going down to the pier. And we have to surmise from what happens in a few minutes that she didn't tell Clark where she was going. But what was Clark doing? Did she... Well, And then this is the other thing. Do you think Clark made any effort to hide the fact that there was a detonated bomb in that hotel room? Do you think he tried to clean up any of that so that nobody would be like, wait a minute, something blew up here, and yet the trajectory of the shrapnel doesn't make any sense? Or do you think he just left it the way it was?
He just put a pillow over it.
Turn the cushion over this way.
Nothing to see here.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I can only assume that she was like, I'm going home to change. I'll meet you at the planet. And then instead of going home, or after going home, she decides she's going to go to the pier. Why she doesn't bring Clark with her is like one of these mysteries that they don't explain. Maybe just her being independent or being sick of Clark by that point. I don't know.
Yeah, it was definitely a weird little transition where we just have to kind of surmise that they went their own separate ways and we're going to meet, and then she never came back or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we have, back at that planet still, we have Perry coming in saying that he had just called everybody he knew in Washington. Nobody's concerned. He called the Navy. They're saying that there's, basically there is no test, so they don't know what to do. Clark decides to call Lex because he is behind Shockwave. Lex arrives at the Daily Planet and greets Perry, Clark, and Kat, and then refers to Jimmy as whoever. Poor Jimmy. He looked so excited to meet Lex. He had his hand, held out for a handshake, and he gets whoever.
Do you remember in the pilot, one of the first things we get from Jimmy is that he totally admires Lex. It's at the soiree when Clark is floating, and Jimmy's going on and on about how Lex Luthor is this, and he's read all of his biographies, and he can't wait to see the man in person. And then fast forward here to episode 11, he's finally getting the chance to meet him, and he gets a whatever. Ow.
Yeah, very ow.
Poor guy.
And then I think it's funny, by the time House of Luthor comes on and they're like, oh man, who knew that Lex would be so bad? And like Jack and Jimmy are like, I never liked him. I never trusted him. I'm like, Jimmy, okay.
Okay, Jimmy.
Sure.
This would have made him not like him for sure.
Absolutely.
This was the beginning.
Yeah.
This was
I haven't liked him since Honeymoon in Metropolis.
It just got completely brushed off. Like, meh. Don't care. Well, at first, Lex is mad that they know about his top secret test and that he wants to be home watching Flipper, but he decides to help them because they say the test is going to fail. The whole time, Kat is looking through the phone book for food because apparently she's got some kind of tapeworm or something because she's starving. She sees Japanese and thinks, ooh, tsunami. Light bulb moment. Tsunami? Shockwave. Apocalypse Consulting has a warehouse on the pier, and maybe that's where Lois is. As we know, Lois and Harrington are tied up on that pier. Rourke now hops into his speedboat, and Harrington mentions that they are dead. This guy is in complete shock because he knows they're going to die, but Lois is like, somebody's going to save us. Not a big deal. Superman's coming, I'm sure. We then see a helicopter drop a torpedo. It explodes and sets off a massive tsunami headed straight for shore. Some good footage.
Y50, here we go. That's funny.
Clark shows up to save them. They see the wave. Clark snaps the ropes that are holding them together and tells them to run. Superman then flies into the wave, doing a fun barrel roll, reverse vortex-looking thing, creating an undersea trench that takes it back out to sea. Superman has saved the day.
Yay.
And it's interesting because you only hear earlier about Harrington being like, oh no, millions of people, and they don't really go into it. But man, if this wave had landed, it suggested it would have taken out a chunk of Metropolis.
Everything. That thing was huge.
Yeah.
Some good special effects too, with his barrel roll looking thing.
Yeah.
It still holds up today. Mm-hmm.
Do you know who has that newspaper, Julie? The one with the illustration of him?
Yeah. I don't know, but I would love to have that one. The Surf's Up. It'd be a good one, though. So back at the planet, they are holding up that Surf's Up newspaper. And they mentioned that Rourke manipulated Shockwave sensors to believe something the size of the Rocky Mountains was trying to penetrate the system, and that's why it overreacted. Luther gets the contract, but with modifications, so that does not happen again. And we find out that Harrington is probably going to get off scot-free because he said that he's the one that set up the whole thing as a sting operation, which we know is not true.
Did you notice that when they were all doing this scene, Perry was standing next to the newspaper on the wall that said Nixon quits?
Okay, well, maybe there's another reference to All the President's Men that I missed. Okay.
I just thought since he played Nixon, I was like, oh,
And that too. Yeah.
throwing that in there.
I just thought this scene felt like this really weird info dump where just everybody has a line that helps us know how to wrap up this plot. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, they had to tie everything together in one scene, and it was a little much.
Yes, it was done very quickly because how did they catch Rourke? Or did they catch Rourke?
Details. I didn't never really care. I was like,
no, I don't care. I clearly don't care. But who knows?
Yeah.
But what I do care about is the end scene, which is adorable. I love this end scene with Clark in bed shirtless. Yay. Thank you, writers. Apologizing to his parents on the phone for the misunderstanding about the honeymoon suite. I can't say it enough of how much I love Kay as Martha. Her teasing is just adorable. Her little giggles. And so you really liked being with her, didn't you? Just so cute. It's so perfect because clearly he enjoyed it. He likes her. He just wasn't going to say in any way that he did, but he kind of said it, kind of, but didn't. But we all know it. And she knows it.
Yes.
And the fact that he didn't have anything to say after she said that. And
he was kind of speechless.
Like, yeah, I love her. Good night, honey.
I don't want to say it if you're already about to say it. The part where he says, like, if anything were to ever happen between us, and he goes on, like, really seriously, like, it would not be spur of the moment. It would be because we both cared about each other. And she's just, like, laughing her head off. But also, Pheromone My Lovely was just one episode back. If anything were to happen, maybe. I'm sure it's what he believes at this moment to be true. It's
absolutely.
Mm-hmm. But yes,
he lies a lot. This is what we've gathered. He lies a lot,
even to his mommy.
I know, bad Clark.
So as they hang up, Lois calls to say that she is in the honeymoon suite. Which, again, why would she be there if it just was ransacked? They put her in a room that was ransacked?
After her credit card gets the room, destroyed.
Yeah, they just ruined the whole room because of, but okay, we're just going to go with it, I guess.
We got to let this go.
It's the management's way of apologizing for any inconvenience suffered during their stay. They're the ones that did it. Okay.
Yeah.
But Clark is a little jealous because he never got to use that bedroom. They didn't get to alternate nights. But yet she gets to use it again. And she comments,
well, this will give you something to look forward to.
Then she backpedals a little bit, realizing how that just sounded.
When you find the right woman, of course.
Of course.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They're both feeling something. A little progression. What I like here is that she says, good night, Clark. When earlier in the episode, she was refusing to say goodnight. I love that she called basically just to say goodnight. So that's a little bit of forward motion. Good job,
Sweet.
Lois.
Very sweet.
And he's so speechless that he doesn't say anything. And she's like, good night, Clark.
Was it
he
speechless?
Smiles.
Or was it maybe him like giving her a taste of her own medicine? I don't
Maybe a little bit. I think he was shocked because
Okay.
he couldn't get that out of her when they were in the hotel.
But the only thing I don't like about it was he yawns on the phone. He's like, "Oh, this is all very fascinating, but I'm going to turn in." I'm like,
yeah, why
Really,
did he have to
Clark?
get off the phone?
this man, he's always falling asleep when he shouldn't.
He does not
needs to get
need
this checked
sleep.
out.
Right. And this is ultimately his crush is calling him on the phone, and he's calling it quits after she just, yeah.
Yeah, I know we're at 46
Yeah, after-
minutes, but we could have trimmed some of the Rourke stuff and gotten like more here.
I know.
Yes.
Exactly.
Take out sore throat.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, yes. That was a joke they tried.
Take out-
It's just, we don't need it. We don't like it. We don't want
No. Take out sore throat, add in shower scene, and more end scene.
And jacuzzi.
But
jacuzzi,
Yeah.
shower, and yeah.
add that back in. But instead, we get them hanging up, him fluffing his pillow, not learning his lesson, and it goes kaboom
it.
all over the place. And he probably just left it there and went to sleep.
Again, yeah. I like the music at the very end. It's like kind of a little, what is it? Not a riff.
Jazzy.
A little,
like,
you know, like if music could laugh, that's what it was. It was like,
He did it
Really.
again.
he did it again, ha ha. And there's just enough of that tension to be like, oh, you want more.
Chaotic Clark.
Chaotic Clark.
And that's the episode.
So, is there anything else you'd like to talk about with this episode? New things you noticed? Favorite moments?
Something I noticed at the end was that Clark's phone by the bed didn't have a cradle. It was just the phone.
Is it the
It's
cordless
gonna
phone?
die. Yes, the cordless phone.
Oh, he needs like a thing for it, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe he has it fully charged and he's just letting it
Yeah.
drain.
He charges it through the day so he can have it at his bed at night.
If viewers ever want to watch this one and the very, very similar scene in House of Luther where she calls him and he's in bed, it's so similar, just the way that they're both set up, and that's just
Yeah.
just a little Easter egg for you if you want it. Well,
I think this was the first mention of lead lined,
yeah.
I believe. I was trying to think. I think it is.
Yeah.
I mean, if it wasn't, Lois is really stupid because she didn't catch it, but I think it's the first time they've mentioned that.
I agree. I don't know where to put this. I just, just one of these things with this episode. We love it so much for its romantic plot. We usually say that the villain stuff is the A plot and that the Lois and Clark stuff is the B plot. I feel like it kind of gets flipped in this one because there seems to be more romantic stuff than villain.
Yep.
The villain stuff to me is not good. It's like we said, some of these conversations are forced. It took me a really long time, many viewings of this to even understand what was going on. Now, I'm not the sharpest tool. If I thought they were married from watching the preview of this episode, but no, I mean, like, I would watch this and be like, work, the apocalypse and this and that. And then it all culminates with a big wave, which Superman solves in 3 seconds. And
Yeah.
I guess what I'm asking is, if it had a more well-executed villain plot line, would it increase the episode in your eyes, or do you just think that it's probably better, it doesn't matter because we don't care about the villain part in an episode like this anyway? Looking back to like Green Green Glow of Home, where there is all this little romantic and
Where the
waffy
villain
stuff,
was good.
but the villain stuff, and they integrate
Right, yeah.
nicely, and we all think that episode's pretty darn great. Where in this one, you still get that romantic stuff, but you're going, why do we need that other stuff? And it doesn't have the same.
Right.
Yeah. I was along the same lines when I was doing my rating, because when I think of this episode, this is one that I'd go back to because I like the 4-episode arc here because it's so strong. And I rewatched this one, and then I'm doing my rating and I'm like, but boring guy, boring guy, boring guy. It's like the things that I don't think about, I'm taking into consideration now when I'm doing my ratings.
Yes. Yes.
And that brought me, I don't want to talk about ratings now yet,
Yeah,
I guess,
okay.
but that brought me down a little bit because I'm like, okay, I had to rewatch the scene because I didn't understand. And I've watched this episode 100 times. But it's because I zone out. I zone out because I really don't care. But I didn't do that with Trask.
Yeah.
So
'cause he's
there
good.
is a difference.
I know.
Could have been better.
Same page. I feel like the good outweighs the bad for me
Yes,
still.
the
But
good outweighs it. Yes, for
I
sure.
still rewatching this episode this time, I still kind of tuned out a little bit.
It's I yeah, I used to not understand it. I do understand it now, but at the same time,
Yeah.
it feels there's so many names dropped. You get the Navy, you get Apocalypse, you get Shockwave, Tsunami, Defense Committee, Sore Throat, all these different names. I feel like,
Mhm.
if Congressman Harrington had maybe already been a character in an earlier episode that we knew about, and that gave me some connection to this, I'm not sure how well that would have helped. But just to have all these people come out of nowhere that we're all supposed to not only be invested in, but understand how their relationships all work. And somehow Lex Luthor's in here too. Lex Luthor's in here
Yeah.
too, and he's not even the villain in this episode. But somehow he's involved. And
Exactly.
it's
Right.
just
He actually helps. Yeah.
there's so much going on. I guess that was true in Pheromone as well. He was part of it, but wasn't the villain. Anyway.
Yeah, you could probably completely take out Lex completely from this episode and it wouldn't change anything.
It wouldn't change it. It's just nice to see him on the screen because he's such an iconic character.
Well, we'll get to our ratings in a little bit, but first, in every episode, we have some special, what do we call them? I've already lost my mind. We have
Special
some
segments.
Here are some of our special segments we're going to talk about. First of all, we're going to go with Julie today. Julie, were there any goofs or bloopers in this episode?
There were a few in this episode. The biggest one is the pillow fluff continuity from the hotel room. So he fluffs his pillow in the hotel room and it goes kaboom all over the floor. Well, then he goes in, wakes up Lois, and she comes out into the room and they're looking around. It's not there. It's gone. There's no pillow fluff. But then later, when they wake up the next morning and he's doing his push-ups, the pillow fluff is there. So did he clean it up and then fluff another pillow and break it too?
Wow.
Did you guys notice
Interesting.
that?
I didn't notice that at all.
Really?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Pillow fluff, no pillow fluff, pillow fluff.
Scandal.
That's really the only big one that I really noticed. I mean, his pants were fine after an explosion, but I guess you can say that was his aura.
Yeah.
Something about that sentence was
His pants exploded. That didn't come out
Liar,
right.
liar, 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 pants on fire, right?
Pants on fire.
I don't
Should've
know how
been.
that reminds me. I mean, this might be a blooper, or it might not, but like, I guess all bombs are different. But say he's sitting on top of the bomb on the couch. The bomb can't go up. Did it go down?
down?
Did it kill the people in the room
Out.
below?
Ooh.
Oh, that's tragic.
It got real dark real fast.
It could have could have created this big massive hole in the floor and everything caved in. But no, it didn't.
Well,
It just
maybe
went
that was
boom.
the laundry room. We don't see Ingeborg again after this, do we? So
No. Oh gosh. Poor maid.
R.I.P.
Oh my gosh. I was gonna say another tiny one, which isn't really a goof probably, is that Ma and Pa Kent were wearing the same pajamas multiple nights. Obviously, they did the scenes back to back. But I guess I wear
Right.
the same pajamas a couple times, so I guess
Yes.
that can be normal.
Yes.
That's about it.
All right. Jen, were there any furry friends in this episode?
No, but I'll give it a pass because there was a kiss. So
The
There
feathers
should
that
have been
came
a-
out of the pillow. What
Yeah.
animal?
the
did those-
feathers. Well, that would have belonged to a chicken, I'm assuming, but the chicken was no longer clucking. So
Poor chicken.
still zero. I mean, if you want to get that deep, was the couch leather?
No.
Let's go down this rabbit hole. How
Sorry.
many
I'm so
animals?
sorry.
I like it. No, that's funny.
Cat was wearing leather print in the beginning.
Doesn't
But
count.
there could have been a
Shrimp
fish
were
in the ocean, and there wasn't.
Dolphins
Oh.
were mentioned.
Dolphins. Yeah.
Flipper.
Yeah.
Flipper.
Flipper. There you go.
He's up there in the
Oh.
wave, like
Oh dear.
Oh my.
we are a wreck.
One of my jobs is to talk about any real life people, places, or things that were mentioned in the episode. So here we go. We got a mention of South America, just in general, and Miami, a city in Florida. When Lois is in the hotel at the beginning, she turns on the TV, and the first movie she sees is Summer Place from 1959, and then she switches it to what I finally figured out was the movie April in Paris from 1952. And both of these are romance comedies, sort of. Well, the second one is. And the first one, Summer Place, which I actually watched a few years ago and disliked. Thumbs down. I can see why Lois did not want to watch that either. I have not seen April in Paris, however.
I washed my hair for you. I think of that line a lot, randomly. I washed my hair for you.
Yep. She's like, I only ever do it once every few weeks.
Pretty much.
Okay, we got another mention of Beirut, which we just got that a few episodes back. People Magazine, Super Glue, another mention of Jerry Lewis, a mention of The Nutty Professor, the TV show Flipper, which ran from 1964 to 1967. Got lots of mentions of types of food, but I won't go into them. And finally, several nods to the 1976, I think 1976 film, All the President's Men, with Robert Redford and Dustin Hoffman. And that is what I got. Jen, what is your excuse for the wacky... what's your excuse?
What's your excuse?
My excuse? I have to make up excuses for Superman? Clark?
He was
Jen.
just checking her tonsils.
What is your choice for the wackiest excuse Clark uses in this episode?
The first one was the lead line. She responds with what? And his only dumb response is, I don't know. So there was another one when he breaks the tape because he forgot to reload it. So out of the forgot to reload it or she responds lead line. Neither one are good. Okay, I'm gonna go with he breaks the tape because he forgot to reload it. He said he forgot to reload it. Is that okay? Do you think that's a good one?
Yep.
Is there another one?
I think that's a great one because not only does he get away with it, but he's not just being like, sometimes when he makes excuses, it's because he's just straight up lying to her or he's just trying to get out of something. But he's actually sort of covering for her in that instance. He doesn't ever mention that he saw anything and he just kind of like, what happened? And he's really nice about it. Doesn't get mad at her for like going across or anything and just plays it off and kind of takes her anger very good humoredly. And so I think that's a cute one because good for him in that one.
Good, because I didn't like the lead lined one. It was boring. And he didn't have an excuse. He was just like, I don't know. He just said a dumb thing. So that's not an excuse. So
yeah, well, his excuse was like, I don't know. I don't know what I just said.
I'm dumb.
Say what? What do you mean?
All right. So our acronym of the week this week is a very special one because it's not just one, it's many. We are officially halfway through season 1. Can you believe it? And as such, I wanted to talk about the episode title acronyms that we've had so far. But I just thought we would make this interesting of playing a little game.
Oh no.
Was this an episode that we've covered so far? So I'm going to give you a couple of letters, an acronym of an episode. And within 3 seconds, you have to tell me yes or no if we've covered it thus far. Okay?
I'm going to lose.
You might
Officially.
you might do better than you're expecting.
Come on, Jen, you can do it.
I don't do episode titles or acronyms.
So, okay, we'll make Julie play then. How's that? We'll just
Okay,
say
no, I'll try. I'll try.
Come
I'm a good sport. I will try.
Good.
I'm just saying, I'm not going to win.
Okay. All right, your first acronym is PML.
Yes.
Yes.
Should I say yes? What does it stand for?
Pheromone, my
Pheromone.
lovely.
You got it.
Woohoo!
Next one is
Yay.
SK.
Yes.
And what does it stand for?
Smart kids.
Smart
Oh,
Kids. Oh, you know, we talk about that one all the time. Back in the day, we'd be typing Smart Kids, my favorite episode, Julie would say. And she'd be
It's
like,
the best.
SK.
Julie.
For those in the know. All right,
It's
next
the
one.
best.
FH.
Nope.
Full house.
Full
Full House.
No, it actually
No, I
stands
have no
for an
idea.
episode we haven't covered yet. How about RFAS?
Yes, boo.
Oh yeah, Requiem for a Superhero.
Yes, indeed. RFAS
Fuck.
Requiem. Another one we don't talk about as much as we
Bleh.
we don't need to talk about.
All
right, next
done with that
one. TOGOM.
Nope.
No. I know what it stands for though.
You
Go
can say it.
Jen.
That old gang of mine.
That'll gang one. We haven't done that one yet.
Yay. See, you're
T.
doing great.
G. G. G.
Oh,
Yes.
I know that one too.
Yes.
The green glow of
Oh.
home. Woohoo! All right. MOSB.
Yes.
Oh, yep, I know that one.
The Man of Steel
Man
bars.
of Steel Bar.
Man of Steel bars. I left the like I said
The.
last week. We'd leave rid of the.
Nobody ever
Right.
said the.
IOG.
I don't know.
No.
No, that's
No.
another
I'm
gonna
one
say
we haven't
no.
covered.
Illusions.
of grandeur yet.
Blech. Blick.
IGACOY.
Yes, we did that one.
I got a crush on you.
I couldn't remember what it was, but I'm like, I remember typing that out so many times. Igakoi.
Sweetie pie.
NB.
Yes.
Never ending battle, guys.
Got it.
Woohoo.
Good.
HOL.
No.
No.
House of Luther.
Not yet. HIM.
Yes, we just did that.
Yay.
All right, so the 11 episodes we've covered so far, pilot and the pilot did not get an acronym because it would just be TP if we did, and we didn't really care about
Toilet
that.
paper.
We had
TP.
Strange Visitor, which could be SV or SVFAP. NB, Never Ending Battle. ILTY, I'm Looking Through You. RFAS, Requiem for a Superhero. SK, Smart Kids. IGACOY, I've Got a Crush on You. TGGGOH, The Green Glow of Home. MOSB, Man of Steel Bars. PML, Pheromone My Lovely. And HIM, Honeymoon in Metropolis. And those are the acronyms of the episodes we've talked about so far. Here's to another half of season 1.
Wow. Guys, who knew we'd get this far? Sometimes I wondered.
Crazy.
Way to go.
I want to see the puppy.
Here, I'm gonna see if I can get her in here. Walter also has 3 hotspots. I don't know if I told you. Pumpkin, come here.
We are taking a quick break for
Pumpkin.
Jen to bring in her dog.
Oh, this isn't my
Pumpkin.
dog.
It's a
Aw.
golden doodle.
It's not a golden doodle.
Oh, he
it's
can't hear us.
She has no idea why I have.
Oh my gosh.
Cute.
She's cute.
Isn't she so cute? Hi, baby. She's doing a tongue flick. She is so not comfortable right now. But she's a sweet girl.
She has a little mustache like a terrier, but then she has like golden doodle fur.
Yeah, you're a sweet girl.
What are you
Sweet
mixed
baby.
with? other than adorableness.
I have asked. Oh, hello. Oh, you're so very sweet. Thank you. Thank you. I'm gonna let you down now. Okay. She was barking, so I had to go. Oh, now she's giving me kisses. Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye. Oh, now she wants me. Oh dear.
Aw.
What if I started?
Pumpkin, would you like to rate our episode too?
Would you like to do your rating? What did you think of this episode?
Yeah, the
I
kisses
don't know,
were
but
nice. Yeah.
she's
What did
she's
you think
definitely
about the A plots? Oh yeah. Get
and
off
she's
the-
out.
And
Uh-huh.
she's
She's
gone.
out.
Yeah.
And she's done.
So now we come to the end of our episode discussion, and we are going to rate this episode on a scale from A plus to F minus. Jen, we begin with you.
All right. Well, this has always been one of my favorites. So, when I was originally watching this in the 90s, this was like the gooey romantic stuff that I had been waiting for. I had been waiting for this episode. And I was, like Julie said, I was into the episodes leading up to it. I've been giving them good ratings. But this one hit the spot. That's all I would do after this aired is I would come home from school and watch this episode. I think it's Lois trying to wrap her mind around being with Clark in that way, even if they were just pretending. And they were in a romantic setting, even though the pink carpet was awful. And there was a kiss, and the flirtometer was definitely swinging like a pendulum back and forth, and that made me happy. So this one just gives me the feels. So I give this one a very solid A, even though there were boring parts, but everything else made up for it.
A solid
it's the
A?
nostalgia. It's a nostalgia for me. So yes, A.
All right, for me, Honeymoon in Metropolis might be the most romantic episode of the entire first season, no doubt there. And nearly everything that happens at the hotel is adorable. But the A plot is an absolute head spinner. I already kind of talked about this. It's just not there for me. The LNC parts are great. Everything else is convoluted. Even when you get it all sorted out, it's kind of boring. So, because of all that, I have to take off some points, and I give it a B minus.
Wow. Okay.
Oh. Ouch.
Oh no, they're
Alright.
coming for me now.
It's all right.
Julie's gonna bring up the average, I'm guessing here.
Ouch. Okay, well, see, I struggled because, like I said earlier, this is one of my favorites. I watch it a lot, but I always zone out during the boring things. And now that I have to break it down, and because I got the boring parts in my section to recap, it brought my score down lower than I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
I would have probably given it an A minus, but I'm going to end up at a B plus just because of the boring guys that I had to rewatch multiple times to figure out what was
Right.
going on. But I still,
That's fair.
I'm still struggling. I still want to give it an A minus just for nostalgia because I love it so much because of everything else. But I'm going to give it the B plus.
Okay.
Do you all
But
find
still great.
Yeah,
Still great.
yeah.
Do you find sometimes your ratings are affected by what you've rated other episodes? Because I definitely do, because I gave Man of Steel Bars and Pheromones solid Bs. And
Mhm.
across the board, I just thought this one was a little bit weaker. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to do B minus.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
That's fair.
it was me
I could see that.
considering the other
Yeah.
ratings I've given as well.
I do try to put that into play too. But overall, like with some of them, like this one, back in the day when I was watching it, I think I would have given it an A plus back in the day.
Yeah,
I think I
for
took
sure.
it down today because, well, I didn't have to write down every little detail of the boring parts. I'm sure that would have come into play, but yeah.
This
word
would have
vomit.
definitely been in the A's for me before, breaking it all down. It brought to
Mhm.
the B plus.
So
Yeah,
I
and
guess
these-
we need to ask our listeners what would your rating be? Do you think it's a higher? Do you think this stuff is boring?
And if you, when you first saw the episode, if you really loved it, does that sway you at all into what you give it now? I mean, are there episodes where you've changed your mind over the years? Do you like something better? You like something less? it's all like for me it was I'm looking through you. I remember not having a high opinion of that one until I rewatched it and it actually was better than I remembered. So it's gone both ways with some of these episodes.
Right.
Yeah. If I'm going solely on Lois and Clark, the episode, and taking out the bad guys, it gets an A plus
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
not wrong.
Absolutely.
Because all of that was strong.
Yes. So basically what I'm hearing is we don't need the bad guys for this to be a good show.
Take it out.
It depends. It depends.
Take it out.
I can name some episodes where we don't need them, and some where I appreciate them. All right, don't go away because our special feature today is something you've heard us talk about more than once on this podcast. But what is it? It is IRC. It's something we used to chat all about Lois and Clark back in the day when the show was on the air and even afterward. IRC, or Internet Relay Chat, is a communication protocol first introduced all the way back in 1988. In 1992, I know, right?
Wow.
In 1992, a branch of some of the original networks was created, and it was called the Undernet. And I don't remember all the I don't know all the tech specifics, but I do know the Undernet is where we all eventually landed. Or mostly Julie and I know Jen said she went on there a little bit. But in order to get on IRC at all, you had to first of all have the internet and dial up. And then you also had to use a program or client to connect to IRC. I used one called MIRC. Do you remember which one you used, Jules?
That is the same one I used. Yes,
little
the MIRC.
icon, the MIRC, yep. And once you were on there, you would type in /join, little £, and the name of the channel that you wanted to join. And we would join LOISCLA, where the Lois and Clark action was happening.
Do you remember the channel Lane Kent? I was trying to remember. This is so many years ago. I feel like that's where the adults went later on. I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure
couldn't
there was
remember.
adults.
I just remember it was there were two different rooms.
So according to the FAQ, frequently asked questions, that I found on a very old website devoted to the listserv, which we've talked about before, folks originally met in this channel on Sunday and Tuesday evenings to discuss the show, generally starting around 9 p.m. Eastern time, this says, and continuing on into the evening and then some, quotes. But it also says these days, and this was back in probably 1997, 98, it said if you check the Lois and Clark channel just about any night, you might find someone online. And I feel like I always saw somebody online.
Yes. Somebody was always in there, no matter what time of day, what day it was, somebody was in there.
Wow.
Usually it was me.
Do you remember your names? Do you remember your names?
You could change your names and stuff. She was Ultra Girl.
Yes, I was Ultra Girl.
I, for a while, was Muffy Slay, which is like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, only with an M because Molly. It's weird.
Yeah, I remember that.
That's what I remember Muffy Slay.
Yeah, I don't remember. I think I went in there like 2, maybe 3 times. And mine probably would have been like Disney 1585 because that was like my original AOL handle and I was not great.
You could also create your own channels for any number of people, and you could direct message people on there. If you did start your own channel, you were automatically the moderator, but you could add other people as moderators too. You could also kick people right on out. The list of the people that were also in the room with you would be on the right-hand side of your screen, at least in MIRC, and the chat was on the left, and the chat had timestamps next to every message, along with the username of the person who was speaking, typing, so you would know who was talking. Sometimes people from the show would come on. One of my biggest memories from IRC was on the night of the series finale. I signed on, and Tim Minear, who was one of the show's writers, showed up. and answered some folks' questions and told us some of the tentative plans that would have been had the show gone into season 5. I have his quotes here if we ever want to use those. I don't know.
Ooh.
This is kind of like 3 seasons away, so
Ooh.
we can save it. But that was a really interesting night. You would have thought it would have been really sad, but we were all pretty decent mood that night, just being able to chat about our mutual love for the show and everything.
Surprisingly.
Yeah, surprisingly. Julie, do you have any big memories of IRC times?
I just remember going in there constantly. I was in there all the time. And yeah, I'm still friends with a few of you guys. Like, obviously, you I met in IRC and still friends however many years later.
We talked in our fanfic episode about how the Kurth Awards would happen on IRC, as well as you mentioned watching round robins take place on there. Fanfics.
Yep. I just remember people would be like, why are you talking about Lois and Clark every single night? Because
Your
they didn't
friends.
get it. And then I mean, we did obviously talk about Lois and Clark or what Teri or Dean or whatever you saw in tabloids or on, the extra TV shows. We talk about pretty much everything. But what people didn't get is like we talked about our lives. Like everybody became like friends, and it wasn't like, oh, what happened on Lois and Clark on last week's episode? It was, what are you doing today? How's your family? It was more about, just talking about regular life. So you got to know these people that you were talking to all the time, and it wasn't about just what's happening on Lois and Clark today.
I was mostly a lurker, at least when the show was on the air. I remember signing on
Yeah.
so many times, but having no idea what to say or being afraid to say it. And, that wasn't a problem for me on the CompuServe chat rooms, and that wasn't a problem for me on the message boards or anything. It's not like it was verbal, it was all typing.
Yeah.
And yet I felt maybe because I was a teenager and these were all a little bit older people, or so I thought, that I couldn't possibly have anything to contribute. So I maybe would say just like, hi, and then just sit there and watch.
Yeah. I think I was pretty much the same way at first, early on, kind of sat back and just watched everybody talking to each other and, input tiny bits here and they're like, hi, okay, yeah, this is what I did today, or, nothing really at first because I am very introverted, especially back then.
Now, we have to talk about trout slapping.
I don't even know how to explain this.
Trout slapping originated in 1995, so right in the middle of Lois and Clark's run. You would enter the command /slap space and then the username of the person that you wanted to slap. And up on the screen would appear, so if I did it to Julie, it would say, Molly slaps Julie around a bit with a large trout. And it was supposed to be because maybe Julie had made a mistake or done some faux pas, but we just like to have it happen. We just like the fish flying through the air.
We just thought it was dumb and we would just randomly do it to people.
So funny.
Or like if they were ignoring you, you would slap them with a fish. Hello. They had weird little commands that you could do.
Julie, you mentioned a few episodes back that you would have WAV files that people could command and make these files play. And I got to thinking about this afterwards, how I don't remember that at all, but I think that's because we almost never had working speakers. So I didn't have my speakers on anyway. So I was like, oh, I guess this is something I missed out on.
But also you had to have the WAV files on your computer as well. So you had to get them from another folk that was in the room and then save them. I don't remember exactly how you did it, but you had to save them. So if you had that WAV file, it would play, and your speakers would obviously have to be on as well. But I remember there were multiple, like there were obviously quotes from the show. A lot of them were dirty quotes, like, Clark, you came, or, put it in your mouth and suck on it. There were a lot of those. But I also remember there were some non-Lois and Clark ones for like specific people. I remember had one that was Return the Mac. That song played. So people would play that.
Huh.
There was one for people would play for me occasionally. That was Julie, Teri yelling in that episode. The why am I blanking? It's a Small World After All episode.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah, there were
Wow.
some different wave files. But I also remember, like I said in another episode, cringing when some of the dirtier ones would play. I'm like, oh, my mother's sitting right behind me.
Oh no.
Turn down the speaker. But those were fun.
So because we used IRC to chat so much about Lois and Clark over the years, and because that's how Julie and I first connected, we definitely wanted to talk about this today. We were originally, though, going to talk about some of the Lois and Clark websites from back in the day, but I found so much about those that we are going to save those for another episode. I have a lot to tell you about that, so yay! So glad so much of that has been preserved on the Wayback Machine and other places. Listeners, share your memories of IRC with us. Check out our website and send us a message.
Yes, especially if you were in there. Like,
Yeah,
say
and
hi.
tell us who you were. We might remember
Yeah,
you.
tell us who you
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
There's got to be somebody listening that was on IRC back then. Got to be. Do you remember trading things in IRC, like the VHS trading,
I didn't
the
do VSA
blooper
trading
reel?
there. Is that how we did the blooper reel?
That's
mean, I
how I
remember-
got the blooper reel, the gag reel. I got it in the chat room. They were just copying it and sending it out to whoever didn't have it. That's how I got mine from back in the day. I know I got posters from other people in the UK. I kind of became like a
Oh, right.
back and forth kind of people.
I did
Like,
end
you'd
up
find this,
connecting.
I'd get that, you get this, I'd send you this, you'd send me that. I remember when Teri's Mother's Day card came out and it was only being sold in Rite Aid. I had to go buy every single card in Rite Aid and have the person look at me like I was insane at the register. But
How many
it's
mothers do you
because-
have?
Yeah, exactly. I went to a couple different Rite Aids and I bought all of them. And they were
Wow.
always like, what the heck is this girl doing buying the same card? But it's because in the chat room, there were multiple people that either didn't have a Rite Aid because they were in, the UK or wherever. So I would send it to them. And then things that they got, they would send to me. So that was always cool.
I don't remember the card.
You don't remember the Mother's Day card?
Mm-mm. I might not have
Molly,
even known
do
that
you
it
have it?
existed.
I don't remember a Teri Mother's Day card either.
Really?
Weirdly, this doesn't mean
Huh.
you might jog the memory.
Do you have it still?
I do still have it. Of course.
Interesting. I mean,
I have a couple
silly question.
because I probably bought 30.
Oh yeah,
But
tape
I think-
trading is its own episode. Merchandise trading is its own episode. We have so much more to cover on this show.
I know it's behind me.
It's okay. You
I
don't have
just
to
saw
get it
it.
out. But if you
I just saw it
like
today.
maybe for our socials, since you brought it up, maybe we put it up
Maybe.
because I didn't know that even existed. So that'd be
Yeah,
cool.
I just remember it was funny because I just took all of them. Like, don't mind me. Not a fan or anything.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. If you're following along on our rewatch, our next episode we'll be covering is All Shook Up. That's episode 12. However, get ready because next week we have a very exciting episode for you, an extra episode all about 1993. Hooray! We've already recorded that one, so we're so excited to share it with you. And then, of course, All Shook Up, one of my favorites, coming in 2 weeks. You can find us on Instagram or Blue Sky as Folks Forever. That's FOLCSFOREVER. Or you can visit our website at folksforeverpod.wixsite.com/podcast. And until next time, please enjoy this amazing little ditty.
Lois and Clark in a honeymoon suite. Fake rings on fingers, but hearts skip a beat. Bad guys lurking across the street. They whisper plans, but can't take the heat. Undercover love, oh, it's just pretend. But the sparks ignite when the roles extend. wants to win. Scrabble and gin. Chumpy who? Binoculars up. Hearts unprepared. A love story waiting, but no one declared. Lights off. Curtains drawn. The line we walk feels thin as dawn. Undercover love, oh, it's just pretend. But the sparks ignite when the roles extend. A kiss for the maid, a secret to keep. Undercover love, running way too deep. The maid walks in, caught mid-lie. Clark grabs Lois, baby, don't be shy. A tumble, a kiss, a glint in her eye. The line blurs fast. Who's the spy? The maid walks in, caught mid-lie. Clark grabs Lois, baby, don't be shy. A tumble, a kiss, a glint in her eye. The line blurs fast. Who's the spy? The maid walks in, caught mid-lie. Clark grabs Lois, baby, don't be shy. A tumble, a kiss, a glint in